Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is going to be the Soul Urge reading for Soul Urge number 6. Your Soul Urge number reveals what motivates you. And the way to find that number is by you calculating the total of all the vowels that are present in your full birth name. So just like in astrology, you would follow your sun, your moon, your rising, Venus, North Node, just focusing on your core chart in numerology. That's 4 numbers: your life path, your expression, your soul urge, and your birthday. So following those 4 numbers can reveal to you things that are energetically present and available to you to work with and to work through using numerology. So I'm going to pull 3 oracle cards. We'll take note of what's on the bottom of the deck. So again, your soul urge talks about what motivates you. So if you are a 6, you are motivated by generosity, right? You would give anyone the shirt off of your back. You're a lover, you're a caretaker, you're a defender, you're a nurturer. Now, those are kind of you're very compassionate. Those are some of the higher vibrations of that energy. Some of the lower energetic aspects are, at times, you could feel like a savior complex. You could be suffocating, act as a doormat, overly responsible for others, overly protective. So based on some of the characteristics I just provided, just go ahead and take a quick note about which of those energetic traits are consistent with where you are and what you're feeling. So the first oracle card we have out here is courage. And so 6s, I feel like there's something you want, something you desire. And this is something that you are not familiar with. You've never done this before. It's in you, but you have yet to make it, manifest into this physical world. I think Spirit is asking you to have courage, even when you can't make sense of it, even when you can't see. Have faith, have hope, and take that jump. The next card under courage is Voyage. And so whatever it is you're trying to see or do or have, wherever you're trying to go, I think Spirit is saying have the courage to begin this voyage. The time is now. That's the truth. And the truth you seek, or living your truth, is what will guide you, right? And so when you pursue your truth, when you want to live a life that reveals who you are authentically to your core, I feel like that is a safe existence because your truth is real. It's you. And you know what those urges and those inklings are, and those sparks that you get within. And so Spirit said, as long as you are desiring something that is aligned with who you are, all you need is the courage to jump, the courage to do it, because it's you. You are jumping into a new aspect of you. On the bottom, we have power. So I feel like there are things that you possess, things that you are capable of that you may not know. And right now it needs courage, but all of the things that you have within you are resources, but you haven't tapped into them or truly touched them to understand the capacity that you have, right? And so this is a voyage of truth. This is a voyage that requires courage. And in the overall message is that this is about power. This is about how you can use your power, how you can embrace power, how you can give it to others. This is about you really understanding what you have inside of you before we get into that full capacity energy of a 6 where you're motivated by just offering yourself to others. This seems to be like a point in life where you are deciding first, what can I offer myself? What do I want my life to look like and feel like? Am I ready to go after it? Is this my truth? Am I living my truth? Is there something else out there for me? And those questions create urges. And those urges trigger behaviors. And then that starts that pattern, that movement, that begins the activity. Normally I pull 3 oracle, but a 4th came out, so I normally keep it and talk about it. We have transformation. And so I feel like it is through the power that you have within that you are going to transform aspects of your life. And it may not be pretty, because when we think about the caterpillar to the butterfly, like, it's not the sexiest transformation, but it's beautiful, and every step is worthwhile. So forgive yourself for how it looks and feels as you do this and experience this in your life, but trust yourself that if this is your truth, then you are where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to be doing. Okay, next to courage, the numerology card we have, it says controlling, superior, manipulative. So I feel like that is not an energy that you possess. I feel like you don't know your own courage. You don't know your own strength, because you have dealt with people who were controlling, who were superior, who did manipulate you to get the best parts of you. And I feel like if this is about you understanding what your worth and value are, Spirit is asking to have the courage to overcome these beliefs about who you are and these behavior habits and patterns that people, enforced on you. Next to Voyage, we have logical and intuitive. So that's using 2 different functions of our human body. Logic, that's our rational mind, our ability to think clearly, to plan. And then we have our intuition. That's our spirit gift that we came into this world with, to tap into the unseen, the unknown. That's where we get those little nudges. And so I feel like on this journey, on this voyage, Spirit is saying that all parts of you need to play a role, right? And you need to treat every aspect of yourself fairly. Don't totally rely on your logic, and don't totally rely on your emotions and your feelings. Be very balanced in how you take part in this journey that you're on. Lastly, we have truth. Numerology card is next to truth. It says indiscriminate, ever-changing, and rebellious. Sometimes I'm getting a few things, but these are energies of 5, lower vibrations of 5, and 5 is about change and freedom. And I feel like when you are pursuing truth, when you want to live a life of truth, when you just really want to vibrate as authentically as possible, I think it does look like a restless energy, because you're trying to understand parts of you. You're trying to find a life that fits. And most times this is the one that you create. And some people may think that you're being a little rebellious, always changing. You'll do anything. But in order to understand you, you have to take risks and do things that, that speak to you. Not everybody has to understand why you live the way you live. So I think that people may not understand your truth as you transform, but it's really about you understanding your power. So, yeah. We have high vibrations of 6, balanced and sympathetic. So I feel like Spirit is saying, as you are going through this new version of self that is being born, right? Through your own will, through your own strength, for your desire to see more and do and live something differently. I feel like Spirit is saying to be balanced. Transformations don't always feel good. They're not always pretty. But be sympathetic and be compassionate with yourself. And demand that others give that to you also, right? And so, sometimes 6s can be doormats, right? People just walk all over them. They take advantage of them. And I feel like this chase to understand your power is about you understanding how to balance it, right? How to still sympathize with others without giving your last to the point that you have nothing. So you are learning your gifts and you are balancing them. And you're a lover, you're a server, you're a doer. But people treat us the way we allow them to. and people treat us the way we treat ourselves. So I think that you want to shift things based on, what you've experienced in relationships with others. And I'm speaking because as a 6, this being your soul urge, you are just motivated by love and partnerships and family. Like, you keep everything going around. You're very compassionate, very nurturing. And that's what motivates you. That's what pushes you in all that you do. But that energy can be rare for some. And so it may not always be understood. All right. So now this is where I pull the 9-card box spread. And then we just use our oracle messages and our numerology. And we find the details about what Spirit thinks we should know in regards to this transformative power that is balancing out your life. Okay, and then we'll also take note of the card on the bottom of the deck. So far in the center, we have this 9 of Wands. And when we're talking about courage, bottom of the deck is the 6 of Pentacles, which is balance. Literally, being mindful of how you give of yourself, how others take from you, how you are received by others. I think this is really about you understanding that you are a rare gem. Not everybody and everything is worthy. And so we need to repackage you based on the potential and the power that you carry within you, so that we're not squandering it and giving it away to those that don't deserve it. So we have this wounded warrior. And he's trapped between, this is somebody that's guarded. They may be fearful. They may have anxiety about what comes next, right? They've been through a lot. And they show up every time with their passion leading them. But it seems that they've collected wounds and haven't made much progress, right? So he's looking, the 9 of Wands is looking at this 7 of Pentacles, which is kind of like the reap what you sow. And so I feel like, this is somebody who realizes that they've been through a lot, but they're not content with where they are right now. Okay. And so it will take their logical mind and their intuitive spirit for them to make any progress beyond this energy, this phase, this point in life, right? So this is accepting that something needs to change, and you are probably going to have to go on a voyage within self, right? But Spirit says, you're in this wounded warrior energy. You're looking at your options. You've accepted that something needs to change, right? You're not happy with everything that has come about. You want to see something different, but you also realize that you have to change your perspective. You have to not be fearful or anxious. You have to be willing to continue to fight and to chase what it is you desire. So once you step out of this fearful, can I do it type of energy, then you step into this chariot, this forward movement, this progress. This could actually mean travel, taking a trip, going on a voyage. But once you get on that chariot, like that's where the voyage begins. So whatever that is for you, whatever that chariot represents, it's the anxiety that you have to release and then just jump on it and go. Now, before we got to understanding Voyage, we had an experience where we learned truth, right? And it was when we understood our truth, right? So that started with the Temperance card, right? And so the Temperance talks about patience. It talks about peace, understanding, right? And so the Temperance falls beneath the 7 of Pentacles, and that's the card where we talk about, everything we have is based on energy we put in. And so I feel like Temperance is calling you to understand that you possibly lived a life that was not balanced. Anybody that was victorious, it was because of what you did behind the scenes to propel them. But in the end, you you had nothing. You had given it all, right? And so I feel like understanding your truth and the truth about your life and what you've gone through is what pushed you to want to leave this anxious energy and begin this voyage. And so Spirit has asked that you be patient, right? The things that you want to see in your life are coming, but you've got to overcome this Nine of Wands, this anxious energy. Um, and move forward confidently. Just the fact that you have an opportunity to change something is a victory, right? All we need is the opportunity. And so Spirit is saying you have an opportunity to take a leap of faith, right? By pursuing your truth, by pursuing your heart, your love, and your loyalty. Let those truths about who you are guide you. If you're unhappy with where you are, if you've got battle wounds and scars to show all that you've been through and you want to see your life change rapidly, jump on this chariot as a fool would and realize that something needs to transform within you and then outside of you. So we understood who we were. We agreed to take this voyage. And now this is where we show up with courage, right? And so Spirit is saying, if you're not happy with where you are, one, it does take patience and understanding because there is divine timing, but you also need to chase your truth. You also need to be just as courageous as this Knight of Swords is, as he chases and pursues what makes sense to him, what he understands to be valued mentally in his mind. So Spirit has said, if you're not happy, there's an energy you need to jump into. There's an energy of courage that you need to fill you, right? Instead of, looking at what you've been through and the fact that you may not have a lot to show as a result of how you were an asset to so many others. I feel like Spirit is saying, now it's time to envision what you want your life to look like. For once, think about yourself, right? And sometimes we may feel selfish, right? This is the energy of someone losing sleep, right above this forward motion, right above this chasing truth, envisioning the life I desire. We have not being able to sleep. And sometimes I feel like, there are aspects of us that we will never understand. We just kind of have to get through it, right? We're never sure if we're doing the right thing, but then guess what? We arrive. And so I feel like there are things that you don't know, things that you can't see because you're not supposed to. Spirit has only commanded you to have courage. Have the courage to pursue the truth that you desire in your life. Have the courage to just have a vision. Right? It's not going to feel good immediately. Remember, we talked about transformation and it being a process that's not immediately beautiful. It doesn't feel good. But this is about you understanding your power. And the first form of power is to be courageous, to chase boldly, to move quickly, to go after what makes sense based on your values, your morals, your intuitive sparks. Envision what you want to see. Right? And like we said at the bottom, all of this is about balance and fairness and what we give to others, what others give us, how we receive and accept. But this is a card of balance, but this is about a balance of power, your power. You are establishing a power in your life that comes through you and assists others without crippling them, right? It empowers them. And when things are balanced and when we're still our compassionate, sympathetic selves, that's good. But we also have to know where someone ends and where we begin, right? So this is learning your power so you can teach power to others and so you can live by it as you engage with others in a way that is fair. Okay. All right. These are for the lovers, those that are motivated by their generosity. This was the Soul Urge reading for Soul Urge number 6. Thanks for stopping by.